Hey guys, welcome to tonight's stream. Oh boy, all kinds of fun stuff to work on and talk about tonight. And of course, you can already see one of the big things in the front that we've been working on the last couple weeks. So we get ready to start looking at some concept art to kind of try to figure out what we want to do here and how we want to move forward. All kinds of paints and stuff to kind of think about, and just upcoming projects and stuff to talk about once you guys all kind of start filing in here and we really start talking. Because it's time to start talking about Halloween. Mike, Halloween's 5-6 months away. Hey Steven, how's it going? Halloween may be 5 or 6 months away, but to make a good armor set for a Halloween costume, it's going to take time. And we definitely want to make sure we're getting this on the radar, getting selected what we want to do. And of course, start the build. That build is kind of one of the things that can take a good amount of time to get moving forward. And a full armor set can either go really smooth or be a nightmare. I don't really want a nightmare, so I'm kind of hoping for the really smooth aspect. But you know, we all got to kind of talk about it, figure out what the idea truly is. We're going to work on Doom Guy, of course, tonight. We got more work to do on Doom Guy. I want to get him finished. No, finished is the wrong word. We're not going to get anywhere near finished. But I want to make progress. And to make progress, that means we have to start adding more color. We have to start adding more color than the base 3 colors that we started with. We've got some oranges to come in. I've got some concept art down here we're going to kind of take a closer look at here very shortly to kind of start pulling in more colors. And as you guys join, the object of putting in the chat is, what armor do you think we should go forward with? Now, we've done Mandalorian. I am not against doing Mandalorian again. But it's kind of low on the list. I've done the Imperial Death Trooper with the black armor. That was okay. I've been very much leaning towards the Halo Spartans this year. Kind of one of those things that's kind of been on my mind. It's a lot of printing, a lot of armor to make. So that's why I want to get started now. Because how I do this is, that's my Halloween costume. That's what I'm going to wear. What I'm going to sit out front of the house as the trick-or-treaters come up is that armor. So, and unfortunately last year we missed because of moving. I wasn't able to do a print. So kind of one of those things. Want to make sure I get a print in this year and kind of get some stuff going forward. So as you guys start filtering in, or if you're rewatching this, definitely put in the chat, what kind of armor do you think we should do? Because like I said, I was kind of leaning towards the Halo armor, either a mix of Halo 1 or Halo Infinite armor of the Master Chief. But I am open to suggestions. Doom Guy, not really in my wheelhouse. I don't have the biceps for it. Let's just put it that way. But before we kind of start going into stuff, I've been pulling up some concept art. And I printed it out so I could have it here with me, but you guys can kind of see this is the armor look that we're going for. Of course, we've got the flesh, we've got the orange section that we got to paint in. I got to do some more green and black up into the gals here and in the waistline. Come back with that dark leather look. Same up in here with that dark leather. Separating it from the brown and the black that needs to go in here. So definitely good color details, because there were some other concept arts that I found of this where actually his biceps are not exposed. It's closed armor, so this one doesn't exactly fit. The color scheme on this arm is separate, but the orange still is in play, even though the armor is different. This is the best one, the best match that I found concept art wise. So we've definitely got some blacks. We got some bright colors we need to bring into it. We're gonna kind of play with the bright colors tonight. That's kind of my goal, is to bring in the oranges and stuff. And for most of this project, I'm sticking with MonumentHobbies. Their Pro Acro line. That's the plan, is to use these as much as I can because I like them. They come out really, really well. And we don't have a ton of orange that we have to do, so I'm actually going to do a mix directly in the brush technique tonight. And we're going to mix it right in the airbrush to get started with. So how's everybody doing tonight? Where's everybody at tonight? Where are you guys all watching from? And definitely, if you're in here, make sure you're hitting that like button as well. Helps out the stream, helps more people see it as we continue to grow this craziness that has become this channel. So lots of options and ideas going on tonight. So what's everybody thinking? Webster, New York. Nice. Hey, Mr. Min. Glad to see you on tonight. You guys can see that orange starting to lay down in there. It's probably a little brighter than what I really want right now, but I'd rather start brighter and have to tone it down than have to try to brighten it again. And oranges and yellows can always be kind of that Bane pink. I've gotten a little bit of too much moisture in there. I need to just kind of let that dry for a minute and settle in. So I'll come around back to this back side again where it's not so bright. Try to keep my finger under control here. Kind of just let that start to set in. That nice brightness in there. It's going to look really, really well. And I am going to kind of travel back to my concept art real quick. And that's about the only place the orange actually does appear when I look at the concept art. So that's about all we're going to do with the orange. We're going to kind of just let that dry, because the other concept art, this is all mainly browns, not really the oranges in there. So I don't really need it. And we don't have legs, so yeah, with filament, that can be kind of the biggest bane, is it will travel with the lines. A good way to prevent that is if you're only doing the eyes, I would have taken some like wood filler and kind of created a smoother surface is one thing you could do. Because I'm assuming, did you do any priming on it at all? I'm just using air right now, trying to see if I can get that to dry a little bit. We're gonna clean it up with the with a bristle brush here before too long. I'm working on layers of color, yes. So this is all base coating. I'm laying down the base colors. Then I'm going to come in with some darker and lighter colors, do some highlighting, come in with the black. Today I want to work on the muscle tone a little bit. Trying to get that base color in. Then we're going to come back with some darker. A lot of that will probably be more brush work when I come back in with the other colors. So there's definitely, hey Douglas, how's it going? So there's definitely, this is definitely going to be a very layered approach. I come in with very thin colors and build it up. Like down there in the muck of the blood in the base, I'm just getting started with those colors. There's going to be browns that go in there. There's going to be pinks. There's going to be other reds. When I come in to paint the skulls, I will use some washes probably to kind of help create a flow and ebon base. I'll probably even pull in some transparent paint. In a way, it's kind of a sealer. Now, I had already primed this whole model. So the model had been primed already. So I primed everything to give it a base coat, because primer just makes the paint go, keeps the paint from sticking and peeling away, especially on resin. The paint can easily peel away. It just kind of depends on how your process goes, but he was primed in black. Then I came back with a gray additional primer to kind of create a highlighted look. And then on top of that, I started doing these base coats. And then once I have the base coats, sometimes I will seal them. Yeah, the base gray that you were seeing on here in the black is all primer. Even on FDM prints, I will, I always primer before I paint, because that gives the it gives the paint something to stick onto. Basically, it gives it a hold. Because like resin and plastics, the paint needs something basically to stick to, and that's what the primer creates. It creates a adherent seal between the two that lets normal paint just stick. Oh no, Douglas, that's not good. Hopefully you'll be able to resolve that fairly quickly. If not, you definitely need to get on the horn with Creality support. There we go. Just needed a little bit more air pressure to get it clean out. Yeah, so I do the same process. I always primer and then I paint. Now, sometimes what I'll do is like areas like your so what I'll do is like how you talked about, you liked the model as it was, you just needed to paint the eyes. I would have masked off the eyes, primed, and then painted onto the eyes. So it's kind of one of those things, you got to kind of take it, like I said, it's a layered approach to getting it to where you want it to look. Douglas, on that, is there a, I don't know the CR10 Smart very well, but is there a 115 to 230 switch? Have you made sure it's set to 115? I don't know if the CR10 Smart has that or not. I think it does, But that would be the first thing I check, is that switch maybe like halfway or something like that, and not letting you get power. Is kind of my first initial thought of why you might not be getting, why you're getting a little reaction out of the machine, but not much. Like I said, that's just kind of my first. If I was looking at it, that's the first thing I would check. Is that set correctly to take the right power input? Because sometimes those buttons get jarred. All right. Yep, that's what I was afraid of. Too much pressure. Yep. Here's what I want. This is MonumentHobbies tan flesh. All right. So you can definitely kind of see we're pulling in that skin tone where his arms are exposed. I'm starting to really kind of pull that in there. And that is just one layer over the gray with MonumentHobbies tan flesh. You guys can see it's a really good flesh color. Now I want to go in and kind of next do some darkening. It's getting time for me to dismantle my airbrush to do a good cleanup on it. I'm noticing we're starting to get some cloggy clogs. It's all right. Yeah, I saw you were doing some prints out there, Douglas, and then it kind of just stopped working. And you've tried other wall plugs and other stuff like that? It could be you have a bad board and the motherboard's just frying out. Does that have a physical power switch? Have you pulled the power cord out, flipped the power switch off, back on once or twice, and then plugged it back in? Just out of curiosity. This is a CR10 Smart, right? Oh, looks like this is a thread. Oh. One guy had a bad power switch, but yours flicks on. So there's the switch on the back. Then there's the other power switch, right? And then the other power switch, it comes on, then it just shuts off. That sound about right? It's probably a short in that back float switch would be my bet. Do you have the SD card in it when you're powering it on, Douglas? Or anything else plugged into the printer? Okay, so the SD card is out. There's nothing else connected. You power on the back switch and then the other one, and then it won't power on. Yeah, I'm starting to think you've got a bad connection or an arc somewhere. Which, I mean, these things are shipped from China, so it's not unlikely, you know, something could have come loose, disconnected, um, or caused a problem. But if you, I mean, you continue to have problems with it, definitely reach out to Creality and or where you purchased from to get service or replacement, because yeah, it's not cool, man. I hear this, I hear of this happening, but I hardly ever actually see it. Actually, he just got it, Mr. Merton. Last week was the first time he'd even gotten to play with it. This is actually a video from Creality on this problem, Douglas. Have you checked this video out yet? Go check out that video because this is Creality actually addressing your problem. Um, but yeah, something's not right somewhere inside. And this is from the Creality After Sale channel. Actually, why am I? Hang on a second. I've got the audio turned off, but beep, 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 boop. But they actually talk about having the boot failure. So this one actually talks about taking it apart and taking a look at what part of the problem may be your fuse and other stuff. So you may find this one helpful, and this is directly from Creality. So, yep, Mr. Merton, you're completely right. Sometimes that does happen, and Douglas Creality should warranty it. So keep that in mind. But even here, they're talking about check for loose wires, all that fun stuff. It's kind of bizarre. Something had to have arced your board or something to create the problem. But I think this video is probably going to be a good one for you to kind of help troubleshoot with. And several methods to try to address the issue, which I'm kind of impressed. That Creality even had anything out to try to address it with. But yeah, this might give you a good reference to start and make sure you're getting power, how you should be getting power. But the fact that it turns on and then dies, that almost to me says there's a that to me says there's probably a bad board. All right, now we're just streaming through other stuff. So we'll pop back over. Hopefully that video helps you out, Douglas. We're here to help. So Hey Eric, how's it going? Rome, Georgia. You are not that far from me. Actually, that's a good question. Oh yeah, you're just north of you're about 4 hours away, Eric. How's it going, man? You're about 4 hours away from me. All right. You never know with these printers anymore when you have to crack them open and work with them and all that. And personally, I haven't worked with the CR10 Smart, so um, that kind of makes it hard sometimes to help folks with printers that I haven't worked with because they're all 3D printers. Blah, blah, blah. No, they're not. They're crazy. They're all different. All right. All right. So we're going to do a little bit more brown work on the center section of him. We're going to let this dry for the night. And we're going to talk about Halloween because that's got to get figured out here. What we're going to do. Oh, turn the wrong camera. That'll help you guys see. So I did the metal underneath. It's way too much pressure. There we go. I'm going to come in very gently. Start putting the tan in, as we saw in the concept art we looked at a little bit ago. And just like that, we got some cool looking stuff. It's pretty cool when you're doing one of these and you start seeing the colors come together. It always gets me excited when I'm working on something like this. Yeah, the Enders, they make me so angry sometimes. They're good little machines when they work. Key concept. The key thing that I just said there, when they work. The kinks are always the fun part. Always the hard part. Again, I'll show this again. I know I showed it earlier, so this is kind of the concept art I'm working with. And I'm actually going to come back in on these back plates back here with the tan as well. through here. It's kind of a base coating. I'm gonna have to come back with grays, but I just want to get that tan color in there. And actually I'm gonna use the tan over what will eventually be the darker leather, just to kind of give some fun into this belt. I'm looking at his butt. There's going to be some of the tan in here too. So we'll go ahead and start laying that in. When we get ready to come back with the darker grays and that kind of stuff, they're going to sit really, really well in there. So we're getting some better color in them. The Prusias are nice. Ex-gantry level, that can always be a fussy problem too, Mr. Merton. Eric, what kinks are you still working on? Well, hopefully, Douglas, it's a simple repair, maybe just a loose wire. Is kind of what my true hope for you is on that one, because yeah, that's no fun having printer problems right out the gate like that. I know it can be really your beds are warped. Yeah. So sometimes the aluminum ball trick works for warped beds. A glass bed on top sometimes work for a while. Anyway, the glass will eventually melt. Yeah, I'm really kind of hoping yours comes out okay, Douglas, after a little bit of work. Uh-oh. Actually, would you guys be interested in watching me replace a belt on the print bed? I've got an Odin that's having that problem, and well, honestly, most of the printers work the same way in that regard. Would that be of interest to you guys to watch a video of me fixing that? Yes, no, maybe so. Because definitely kind of interested in. I have to fix it either way because I love my Odin and my Odin needs to work, and it's basically the same similar setup as an Ender 3, and I'm probably doing some maintenance at the same time that I do the belt replacement. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, definitely let's get it in the chat here and leave it in the comments, because yeah, I bring the printer, set it right here, and we would do the repair. Goodness, because I'm going the wrong way. basically I'm kind of going off a picture of concept art that I found, Eric, and then I'm trying to stick with the Monument Hobby line. I'm finding similar colors and kind of working with it. Some of it I've mixed, in all honesty, to make as close to the color as I can. But I am looking at concept art. Well, right now I haven't mixed a color. These are all straight colors. The only thing that I've added like this is just reducer, so it'll work in my airbrush. But a lot of times, and like me, I have a lot of paint. So a lot of times I can find the colors I'm looking for pre-made for me. But I will definitely say he is coming along nicely. But as we get down kind of on time here, I'm going to clean up this airbrush. And we're going to have the conversation that I know a lot of people are interested in, because I've got to get started on the Halloween build for this year. Now, we've done Mandalorian armor. We've done we've done the Death Trooper armor. I would like to do Halo, but I'm not sold on Halo completely. So the goal is, let's talk about it, guys. What kind of armor build or cosplay build would you like to see on the channel? Because it's going to be a 6-month-long project, basically. From concepting to finding pre-made models. Mr. Murden, that's the paints that you can see. Sadly, I'm a little bit of a junkie. I'll be honest, Eric, I'm not too keen on doing the Doom Guy armor. It's kind of just a personal preference of mine. All right, that's good enough for now until I take it apart and put it in the sonic cleaner. I was looking at doing a variation of the Spartan armor. I really like the Halo. Which Halo is it? Halo 3, I think. I'm going to slide over here. You know, the Halo 2 armor always kind of sticks out to me. I really, Halo 2 was kind of my jam. Halo was my jam for a long time. That looks like the Infinity set more than it does the actual Halo 2 armor. There's a better Halo 2 armor. This one kind of steps out. I mean, doing the original Halo armor, I mean, that one is kind of a classic fun build. Simple, Be a lot of paint technique color. Of course, you step it up to the CE version. There's a lot to it. Mr. Merton, I've done The Mandalorian once before. I'm not against doing it again, especially with the new techniques I know. It's just kind of one of those things. I don't know if I want to repeat it. I'm not going to do a Stormtrooper. Been there, done that. Now, I don't think I would mind doing. I actually kind of debated Boba's armor, but also I was kind of like in the heavy armor of Vizsla that we've been seeing in there. Of course, Mando. I mean, we can do Mando. I mean, it is the best video on my channel was when I did the Mandalorian armor. I was kind of hoping to step away from Star Wars a little bit, to be honest. Is there any shows out there I'm just not thinking of that has really cool armor sets? I mean, Halo's pretty obvious. He's in armor. Star Wars, everybody's in armor. Unfortunately, I can't grow the full goatee, so I couldn't do an Obi-Wan armor. That just wouldn't work, unfortunately, for me. Yeah, Paz Vizsla is what I was thinking about. Something like this. Well, unfortunately, the picture, yeah. The heavier armor, of course, we'd have to fabricate the rifle and all that kind of stuff. Are you going to try to get me to do a Cylon armor? Is that what you're trying to do, Douglas? You trying to get me to do a Cylon? The old Cylon armor? I mean, the only thing that would trouble me about making this armor would be the eyepiece, getting it to do the lights. That would be probably the most challenging piece for me. Okay, I hadn't really considered this one. What was the Fallout 4 power suit? Oh my, that's sinister looking, isn't it? Interesting. And I'm throwing out there, I'm not against doing an anime RoboCop kind of thing evil. XO1. Ah, power armor. Okay. What else out there has got armor, guys? Yeah, they do. There probably would actually be, for some of these, the EVA foam would be involved, probably. I think I have a Cybermen helmet sitting around here somewhere. Of course, you know, don't forget about good old Warhammer. I mean, we could even consider Warhammer Space Marine armor. I'm trying to narrow it down because I want to put it in a poll that I'll put out here probably in the next week or so. I'm glad none of you said C3PO because someone said that to me. And I'm kind of like, no, I don't want to do C3PO. So thank you for not doing that. Do they have combat armor in Dragon Ball Z, Douglas? Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. The chest plates. $1,900. Not sure where you mean with that one, Eric. Iron Man's been done a lot. Of course, we could always customize and do our own take on Iron Man. I mean, it's not like I haven't wanted to build Iron Man. There is also the Expanse Mars Marine armor that we could do. Oh, I hadn't even thought about Mass Effect. Mass Effect could get me moving forward. Iron Spider. Just go with the action figure. Oh, yeah. That one might be kind of hard for me to actually make for myself and actually fit in it. I'm more of a Doc Ock body type than I am a Tom Holland Iron Spider armor. But you guys got to remember, I got to wear this. So this is what I will sit outside and hopefully not horrify the kids this year in. Okay. You guys have definitely given me some more ideas. I have looked at some of the old video game stuff too. The Fallout armor, man, that looks complex. It looks like a lot of stuff I could farm out too. I don't know. The Cylon armor is kind of got my attention a little bit because it's going to test me with the electronics of getting the eye to go back and forth. But Paz Vizsla is also very much of interest to me because he's a bigger build of a man than Mando. So the armor does kind of give some ability to have some heft over trying to be Mando. And I like the idea of trying to fabricate the rifle. I mean, the chain would just be a bear. Dead fact. Oh, man. Doom Patrol. My wife asked about him. Interesting. It wouldn't be that hard because it's a leather jacket with a headpiece, armor, and hands. Interesting. That may actually make the list. This is why I wanted to have the conversation with you guys. Because I was even this is me going back old school. I was looking at some of the old Diablo armor because I've been really big into Diablo for some reason here lately. Looking at some of the old armor sets from there too. But I kind of like the idea of sticking with power armor. There was a Mass Effect Knight. This used to be my favorite set if I can find it. That was my favorite set whenever I play Mass Effect. Once I found that one, I was usually happy. So well, that's why we're starting 6 months out, Mr. Murden. And Douglas, I do have the CR30. Yeah, the heavy blaster, the auto chain belt. That's going to be the weird one. So, but this was always my favorite armor, the Blood Dragon armor. That's what it was called in Mass Effect. That's tempting, I'll be honest. I'll tell you what, I'm going to have to just kind of keep an eye out and come out, figure out what I want to do. So keep your guys' eyes peeled for a poll that'll be coming out. And the Mass Effect armor, it looks possible. And that, again, that's why we're starting now, concepting it, getting it done, and trying to get it printed 6 months out. Usually I don't get started this early, and then I'm sitting there going, and I don't want to do that. So that's why we're getting it picked now. We're getting it started. That way I can work on getting the printing and designing done through May, and try to be able to do the rest of it through the summer, get it ready, get the videos made, but also kind of turn it into a series. Like this video, we're working on the helmet and stuff like that. Kind of make you guys, make sure I've got you as part of the process. Some of the streams will probably be involved in it. And just kind of make it a, you know, you guys are my community. I stream so I can talk to you guys, and be included and get your input on what we're doing. Like Doom Guy, he's just a fun project that I wanted to do. And we're starting to get past the airbrush stage. We're about to move into the Mike's got to do a lot of paintbrush work, which I'll probably do some off stream, just to kind of make it a fun concept. Oh yeah, they do have a really cool armor suit, don't they? And with Thrawn coming back, although I don't know if I want to paint my face blue and put in red contacts, that doesn't sound fun. Oh, it's too many things to choose. I even thought about maybe doing like Tech's armor from the Bad Batch. Because it's a very elaborate, different variation on Stormtrooper armor. And I could reuse some of the Death Trooper armor, to be honest. So keep your guys' eyes peeled. There probably will be a poll going up probably in the next couple days. It'll pop up, and I'll leave it open for, well, probably 2 weeks. But those will kind of be the 4 variants that I would, those are the 4 that we'll have to pick from, and then we'll run down that line. So that's probably what I'm going to do. But unfortunately for me, I have run out of time this evening. So if you guys like the stream, make sure you go and hit that thumbs up button. Keep an eye out for the poll. Doom Guy is Doom Guy. He is coming along. We've got flesh tones. We've got other colors. I may do some work on the side later, start kind of getting some of these skulls into white so that I can start actually brushing in, and we can get to some of that color variation that needs to happen into the model too. So keep your eyes peeled. Definitely, like I said, hit that thumbs button. If you're new here and watching this on the replay or anything, hit that subscribe button to keep up with more with Doom Guy and this upcoming armor build. Because, man, there's just a lot going on, a lot of stuff to build, and a lot of fun things to do. But again, if you want to help out with the armor and consider backing the channel, go out there and hit that join button underneath here to join as a member. Sometimes you get additional perks with that too, guys. But that money all goes towards helping with these builds and stuff like that. So Doom Guy is coming together really well, but there's a ton of detail work. That's going to have to be done that I can't do with the airbrush. The airbrush gives you quick, really move in. Now it's getting time to where it's going to be the nitty gritty paintbrush. So, oh no, the brush painting will be out. So like some of it I will do, like the front, that's pretty much going to all be done here. Back here, a lot of that's probably going to be off camera, but there is some stuff that I want to get done so I can actually, you know, hopefully teach some painting techniques too. But, and I'm even at a point, I still need to open these. I got them from Monument Hobby, and I haven't even opened them to try them out. And honestly, the beige red, the dark ivory is of interest to creating some highlights in the armor. And the red gray and even the dark magenta looks like fun. Guys, go check out Monument Hobby. Their paints are really good. Their prices are not bad. They're really good, and they don't sponsor me at all. I just like the paint because you guys can see just looking at Doom Guy, it's good paint. And you saw me do a lot of that with singular passovers. So that just shows the quality of the paint. And we will experiment with Monument Hobbies washes to kind of give recesses and textures and darkness in there to even make the model go even further. So fun stuff still to come. But I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Unfortunately, I got to end the stream, so I will talk with you guys maybe later on in the week. Depends on if I get a video made for Friday. If I don't, we will have a live stream because, yeah, content is important and I want to keep interacting with you guys. So definitely keep throwing it out there. If you've got other armor ideas, put them in the comments down below, and we will catch you guys in the next stream. Thank you all. Appreciate all of you. Stay safe and happy printing.